Part 39. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 381. Next, Yang Tian Kelly began to clean up the spoils. All fox demons are lords above level 150, and the explosion rate is quite good. It is worth mentioning that fox demons are all female beasts, and in Taizhu, female beasts can explode pet eggs. After Yang Tian and the others cleaned up, they harvested several fox demon eggs. These are lord pet eggs. Once hatched, they will directly become level 1 fox demon lords. More importantly, fox demons all have amazing beauty and moving figures, which are of high value in combination. In other words, in just a short while, Yang Tian has gained a lot. Using the Soul Explorer to lock the last residual soul of Addis, Yang Tian Kelly continued to move forward. After a while, the two came to a dreamy rainbow plain. A rainbow rose on the plain, and countless little foxes and fox demons played with each other. In the center of the plain stood a recliner, on which a strange and handsome young man was lying with squinting eyes, and around him were two fox demons with moving figures and beautiful faces who helped him fan the wind and sway, enjoying it very much. The young man was wearing a white robe, his chest was exposed, his hair was silver, his eyes were red, and he was handsome, but he had 9 fluffy white tails, which made people know at a glance that he was also a fox demon, and a 9-tailed fox demon. "It's a 9-tailed fox demon, brother, this is going to be tricky." Carrie stared at the strange young man, his face sank, and he said fearlessly. Yang Tian frowned slightly. Carrie was so afraid, so he thought that the 9-tailed fox demon was at the level of a spirit beast, and his level was still above level 150. However, Yang Tian was not too desperate. Although the 9-tailed fox demon was strong, he was not weak either. "You are so bold, you actually broke into the territory of the fox tribe and killed my people. Today is the day you die." The 9-tailed fox demon opened his red eyes and smiled coldly. At this time, all the fox tribes around stopped playing and rushed towards Yang Tian and Carrie. The battle was about to break out, and Yang Tian did not hold back. He immediately took a step back and chanted to summon the Spirit King Skeleton Warrior and ordered him to kill. The Spirit King Skeleton Warrior and Carrie attacked at the same time, sweeping all the way, and instantly killed a group of foxes. Seeing this, the 9-tailed fox demon finally couldn't sit still, and jumped into the battlefield. His hands instantly turned into claws, and while attacking, the 9 strong tails whipped wildly, causing high damage to Carrie and the others. He even killed the foxes in his bloodthirsty eyes. After a while, there were no other foxes on the entire rainbow plain except the 9-tailed fox demon, the Spirit King Skeleton Warrior, Carrie, and Yang Tian. Because they were all killed. At this time, the Spirit King Skeleton Warrior and Carrie were losing blood quickly. Even if the two of them worked together, they were not the opponent of the 9-tailed fox demon. "Brother," Carrie shouted anxiously. Yang Tian understood and immediately summoned the little demon to merge with the Spirit King Skeleton Warrior, allowing it to bear the damage of the 9-tailed fox demon. At the same time, Yang Tian also put a bone shield on the Spirit King Skeleton Warrior and hit a bone wall to slow down the damage of the 9-tailed fox demon. Extreme summoning. Yang Tian summoned the army of undead, and together they focused their fire on the 9-tailed fox demon, and dealt crazy damage. Although the 9-tailed fox demon's hatred was locked on the Spirit King Skeleton Warrior, his 9 tails whipped wildly during his attack, causing indiscriminate attacks. Inadvertently, Carrie would still be hurt. As for the army of undead, once they were swept by the tail of the 9-tailed fox demon, they would instantly shatter into skeletons. So this battle became a protracted war. Fortunately, the Spirit King Skeleton Warrior was strong enough, with thick skin and flesh, and Yang Tian kept putting on bone shields for it, which limited the damage of the 9-tailed fox demon. The Spirit King Skeleton Warrior lasted for more than 10 minutes in the battle before finally dying. "It's a good idea." Yang Tian smiled slightly, summoning the spirit-level undead to share the CD, which lasted for a maximum of 5 minutes and a cooldown of 5 minutes. When the Spirit King Skeleton Warrior died, Yang Tian immediately summoned a new Spirit King Skeleton Warrior and summoned a little demon to merge with it. The battle lasted for 3 hours. Yang Tian repeatedly summoned the Spirit King Skeleton Warrior and finally killed the nine-tailed fox demon. Wow! Yang Tian got the first kill and received a generous reward, and the nine-tailed fox demon also exploded gorgeously, dropping a mountain of loot. Among them, there was an item flashing 3 color gems. Yang Tian walked up and saw that it was not a spiritual weapon, but a spiritual bloodline. Nine-tailed fox demon bloodline, 3 colors/consumables after use, the attributes are improved, and the bloodline skills Natural Charm and Nine-tail are obtained. Natural Charm, bloodline skill can charm a single target of the opposite sex, and can be commanded at will within 5 seconds, CD, 30 minutes. Nine-tail, bloodline skill/passive control nine-tails and fight, each tail has the same combat power as its own ordinary attack, with a range of 3 yards. Tisk Tisk, both are spiritual bloodlines, but the nine-tailed fox is much stronger than my goblin bloodline. Yang Tian picked up the nine-tailed fox bloodline and sighed slightly. The bloodline skill of Born Charm is undoubtedly abnormally strong. Not only can it control for 5 seconds, but more importantly, it can also control the target. It's a pity that the nine-tailed fox is a male, and Yang Tian and Kei Li are both bachelors, so his bloodline skills can't work at all. There are mostly male players in Taegzu, so it doesn't make much sense for me to use this bloodline. Yang Tian sighed slightly. For a moment, he wanted to swallow the nine-tailed fox bloodline, but he still held back. No matter how strong the nine-tailed fox bloodline is, it is only a spiritual bloodline, and Yang Tian's goal is a god-level bloodline, so it can't be considered. It would be a waste if he swallowed it now. After cleaning up the spoils, Yang Tian Kelly entered again. Half a day later, he finally found the aimless and wandering remnant soul of Dr. Adis in a dark forest. Adis's heroic soul, Emperor. Level 150. HP, 800 million. Skills. Features, physical immunity. Who am I, and why am I here? Adis was white-haired, wearing a white coat, and his figure was illusory and ethereal. After meeting Yang Tian Kelly, he did not show hostility, but asked in confusion. The remnant soul will inherit part of the original memory, some are smart, some are stupid. It is not incredible that this remnant soul of Adis does not remember who he is. Your name is Adis. You were a doctor in the Shinwu Empire when you were alive. Although you did not have strong combat power, you had superior wisdom and leading technology of the times, and you also made great contributions throughout your life. After your death, you were praised as a hero as an exception, Yang Tian said slowly. Heroes, when alive, are usually marshals and generals with outstanding combat power in various empires, and have unique, symbolic, and iconic life weapons, that is, hero equipment. Adis does not have outstanding combat power, nor does he have a life weapon. He is one of the most special heroes. When alive. Oh. I'm dead, Adis was shocked. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 382. Don't you want to die? Do you have any unfulfilled wishes? Yang Tian asked. I only remember that I was developing a soul exploration instrument, but unfortunately it didn't succeed. Adis sighed and said, it's useless to talk about this now, I can't do anything now. Yang Tian smiled, silently took out the soul exploration instrument, and said, is this what you are talking about? Adis was startled, young man, why do you have a soul exploration instrument? No, yours is also a defective product. Hey, isn't this thing a failed product that I developed? I said that you are dead and divided into 4 souls. You are just one of them now, Yang Tian said calmly. I believe. Addis lowered his head and smiled bitterly, as if he had been severely hit. He has devoted his life to studying technology and has spent all his time forgetting to eat and sleep. Now that he can't do anything, he is naturally depressed. Listen, your other 3 souls are with me. If you are willing to follow me, I can resurrect you. Then, you can continue to develop soul exploration equipment. To be honest, I need that thing too, of course. That kind of complete version Yang Tiandeo. Hearing this, Addis suddenly raised his head and said in disbelief, "You mean, you can resurrect me?" Of course, I think you should also know that the soul of the deceased is nothing more than flying into the sky. As long as the body is kept intact, all its souls are collected, and irrigated by the spring of life, it can be brought back to life, Yang Tian said. Yes, of course I know, Addis nodded excitedly as if he had found a confidant, and said, the reason why I developed the soul exploration instrument is to resurrect the powerful heroes of various empires for my use. This will strengthen our Xinwu Empire and make it prosperous forever. Seeing Edith's crazy look, Yang Tian was secretly shocked. He didn't expect that this old guy had such ambitions. But he is also for his own empire, and his patriotism is also admirable. I admire your patriotism, however, if I resurrect you, you will be used by me instead of loyal to any empire. Do you understand? Yang Tiandeo said. Of course, I have already died once. Addis said, I am hailed as a hero. I believe that I made outstanding contributions to the Xinwu Empire during my lifetime. This can be regarded as repaying the empire's kindness. Young man, if you let me come back to life, I will swear allegiance to you. Of course, I will not surrender to the weak. Young man, if you want me to be loyal, you must at least have the strength to convince me, Addis said. This is natural. Yang Tian smiled slightly, snapped his fingers, and saw a spiritual beast self-destructing spider appear behind Addis, and exploded immediately. Boom boom boom. With a loud explosion, Addis died immediately and a large number of items exploded. Yang Tian walked over to clean up the trophies, and naturally obtained the last heroic soul of Addis. At this time, the 4 souls of Addis have been gathered together, directly becoming a complete soul ball. Just like Xiaojin's soul ball. However, Xiaojin is a skeleton and can be resurrected with only a skeleton and a soul ball. Addis is a human being, made of flesh and blood. In addition to his body and soul ball, he also needs water from the spring of life to be able to bring him back to life. Addis' soul ball has been obtained, and we still need his body and life spring water. Yang Tian was quite satisfied with this harvest. He still had many plans, but those plans seemed to require resurrecting Addis first. Until the full version of the soul exploration instrument. The next day, Yang Tian came to the heroes cemetery of the Xinwu Empire. Heroes exist in every empire and even in every war zone. The reason why the heroes Yang Tian has met so far are all heroes from the Xinwu Empire is because he mainly developed in the Xinwu Empire. If there is a chance in the future, he will of course go to other empires and even other war zones to look for heroes. Of course, that's a story later. Heroes are all deceased people who made great contributions during their lifetime. After death, there will lives on forever. Later generations sealed his body in ice in a crystal coffin and erected a monument to last forever. Almost every empire has a hero cemetery. As soon as Yang Tian walked in, he found rows of tombstones, and some of them had flowers placed in front of them. Descendants of these heroes often paid homage to them. Yang Tian searched in turn, and soon found the heroic monument of Dr. Addis. Carry, dig. Yang Tian sent out Carry, each with a shovel, to dig the grave directly. How dare you? You 2 bastards, how dare you blaspheme the hero? With a roar, a warrior holding a giant sword and wearing black scale armor descended from the sky, appearing in front of Yang Tian Kelly with a scowl on his face. For such an important place as the heroes' cemetery, the empire naturally has someone to handle it. Obviously, the man with the angry face was the one guarding the cemetery of heroes of the Shinryu Empire. Seeing as he fell from the sky, he was at least the Spirit King. Black Tiger, Spiritual King. Occupation, Berserker. Empire, Shinryu Empire. Military rank, Lieutenant General. Level 120. HP, 8 billion. Basic physical attack. Skill. It is a capital crime for you two to dig graves. Hurry up and follow me to avoid harming the 9 tribes, Black Tiger shouted coldly, but he was actually a little happy in his heart. I think he is also a Spirit King, but because his merits are too small and his military rank is too low, he cannot serve as the city lord to guard the city and enjoy the glory and wealth, therefore, he can only guard the monument here. How humiliating is this for the Spirit King? Unexpectedly, just a few days after he arrived, someone would dig his grave. You must know that digging a grave is a serious crime, and by the same token, it is a great achievement for the person who captured it. He was in need of credit, and now that Yang Tian and Kree had come to commit trouble, it was like a sleepy pillow for him. Huh? Why don't you stop? After feeling lustful for a while, He-Hu woke up and found that Yang Tian and the others ignored him at all and were still digging their own graves. At this time, Yang Tian Kelly dug a large pit on the spot, and a crystal ice coffin emerged from it. This is a 1,000-year-old ice coffin, completely transparent, and you can see an old man frozen inside. The old man has white hair and a pale face. He is wearing a neat white coat and has a lifeless face. He is the shell of Dr. Addis. With a thought, Yang Tian put away the body of Dr. Addis together with the 1,000-year ice coffin, and said with a smile, "This is the body of Dr. Addis. Now that I have obtained his soul ball, I can bring him back to life immediately." Seeing Yang Tian recklessly taking away the 1,000-year ice coffin and the hero's body, Black Tiger was angry at first, but when he heard Yang Tian's words, he was surprised and happy. "What? You have found Dr. Addis's soul ball? This is great, Dr. Addis can be resurrected," Black Tiger said ecstatically. "Did you know? Dr. Addis has superior wisdom and the ability to lead the times. Technology, if he can be resurrected, it will definitely be the greatest joy for our Shinryu Empire in this century." You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, Ba Wang Shi-san. Chapter 383. Young man, you are not guilty. On the contrary, you have made great achievements. Come on, come with me to see the king. Boy, you are going to have a great career. Black Tiger was overjoyed. He greeted Yang Tian and wanted to lead Yang Tian. Meet the king. Of course, he also contributed to the scheming. When the time comes to see the king, he will definitely take the greatest credit with his few words. Resurrecting Dr. Edith and making him serve the Shinryu Empire again was a great achievement. No matter what happened, he could become a general and enjoy wealth as the city lord. However, when he took a few steps forward, he found that Yang Tian Kelly had not followed. He turned around and saw that Yang Tian Kelly was motionless and looking at him with an idiotic smile. Black Tiger frowned and shouted coldly, "Why, you don't want to see the king? Do you want to take Dr. Edith for your own use? This is treason." "Treason," Yang Tian sneered in his heart. "I'm not from your Shinryu Empire at all. How can I be charged with treason? Come here, catch them." Black Tiger gave an order, and in the blink of an eye a group of soldiers rushed into the cemetery and surrounded Yang Tian Kelly from the left and right wings. Taeju sets that the level of the Imperial soldiers is always 10 levels higher than the player with the highest level in the Empire. Of course, level 200 is the upper limit. Obviously, these soldiers are all level 130 leaders. Don't overestimate your capabilities. Carrie snorted coldly, took out Bart's warhammer and slammed it on the ground, causing cracks on the stone floor, rocks flying, and earthquake shockwaves sweeping through all the Imperial soldiers present. 10892000 10892000 10892000 Dazzling red group damage appeared, and all the Imperial soldiers present screamed and fell to the ground, dying. The Spirit King's combat power is truly terrifying, and the mere leader of the warriors is no match for him. Huh? It seems you still have some strength. Well, I will take care of you myself, Black Tiger roared, jumped up, pulled out his giant sword and chopped off Carrie's head. Carrie quickly parried, and the two sides quickly fought together. The two were both level 120 Spirit Kings and had equal combat power, but Carrie seemed to be slightly stronger and quickly suppressed Black Tiger. I saw Carrie raising his hammer to attack wildly, causing Black Tiger to parry and retreat. Every time he took a step back, the stone floor under his feet would be cracked, and thick smoke would billow up. Of course, although Carrie has a slight advantage, it is extremely difficult to defeat or even kill the Black Tiger, and it will take at least half a day. There is no other reason. The Spirit King level is already extraordinary and his health value is frighteningly high. After all, this is the main city of the Empire. It would be too arrogant to kill the Imperial General here. I think the City Lord will receive the news sooner or later and come. Fearing that something might change, Yang Tian also summoned an army of undead to join the battlefield, including the skeleton warriors of the Soul King, who together with Carrie besieged the Black Tiger. Outstanding effect. After just a few moments, Black Tiger was already bleeding out, covered in wounds, and panting. You actually want to kill me, aren't you afraid of the Empire's punishment? I am a Lieutenant General. Black Tiger was flustered and trembling. Sorry, we are not from the Shinwu Empire. Yang Tian smiled slightly, snapped his fingers with his right hand, and finally killed the Black Tiger with a corpse explosion. Black Tiger drops a lot of items when he dies. After all, he is an Imperial Lieutenant General and he has a lot of assets. Among the objects on the ground, one of them shone with three-color treasure light, but it was not a spiritual weapon. Spiritual weapons are not trivial, even the Spirit King rarely possesses them. The three colors are not blood, but Ling Yuan. Ling Yuan, 3 colors/consumable after use. The attributes will be greatly increased after level 120, the spirit will be gathered, and you will be able to fly in the air, breathe freely in the water, and ignore water pressure and other characteristics. Ling Yuan is similar to spirit level bloodline, except that it does not have bloodline skills. In Taixu, bloodline only exists among beasts. The reason why strong humans have bloodline is to kill beasts. Of course, bloodline is hereditary. For example, Xian Yuan Longer is a genuine human being, not a dragon, nor does he have bloodline taken from a dragon, but inherited from his father's generation. Of course, if one digs deeper, the divine dragon bloodline of his ancestor must have been obtained from a certain divine dragon. In Taixu, humans and beasts are natural enemies of each other. How can humans reproduce to this day if they have no blood? That's because a few powerful human beings with extraordinary talents can cultivate energy substances that are comparable to bloodline and also have hereditary energy. Such as Ling Yuan, immortal Qi, holy light, and even Godhead. This kind of energy material is infinitely close to bloodline, but after all, it is still a little bit inferior, that is, it does not have bloodline skills. Killing spiritual beasts and fairy beasts will 100% drop blood. Similarly, if you kill the human spirit king or the immortal king, you will 100% drop the spirit essence and immortal energy. Ling Yuan, this thing is of no use to me, give it to Xiao Fei, Yang Tian said silently. Nowadays, Xiao Fei has already reached level 120, but he is not the Spirit King. Although the Spirit King players are far inferior to Spirit Beasts and NPC Spirit Kings in terms of attributes, especially in terms of health points, they are still much stronger than ordinary players. This is a hurdle. If you can't get over it, you are just immortal. At the end of the world 3 years later, the Space Zerg invades. If he is not even the Spirit King, he will be just cannon fodder in the war. Ling Yuan, even in the real world 3 years later, would still be extremely valuable. Because it represents otherworldliness, it can not only increase combat power, but also prolong life and be immune to all diseases. Imagine that the world will change drastically in 3 years. How could those local tyrants in the upper class not be tempted by Ling Yuan? It is inevitable that the price will be sky high, and it is hard to find it even if it is priced out of stock. However, Yang Tian was dismissive. He is in good shape now, and can be called the number one in the national server. Taixu still has about 3.5 years of operation time. He can have as many Ling Yuan as he wants. He has not forgotten his parents. If he has the chance in the future, let alone Ling Yuan, he will get even Godhead to give to his parents. But now, it is better to give Ling Yuan to Xiaofei, which can enhance the combat power of his subordinates. As for Huangmao Xianji, they already have blood. For Yang Tian, Ling Yuan can be given to others at will, but he has to keep the nine-tailed fox demon bloodline. Although the nine-tailed fox demon bloodline is only a spiritual bloodline, it is really more powerful than Ling Yuan. It's just that the natural charm can only be launched on the opposite sex, which is a big limitation. Throughout the ages, in terms of power, it seems that men always have the upper hand, so the blood of the nine-tailed fox demon is actually more suitable for women. In fact, he had already thought about it and was ready to give the blood of the nine-tailed fox demon to Lu Yan. In Taixu, Lu Yan is in the Brave War Zone, which is the so-called Awakener War Zone, a separate server, and has no connection with other major war zones. Yang Tian is in the Chinese War Zone. In the future, he can go to the Japanese War Zone, the Korean War Zone, and the American War Zone, but he will never go to the Brave War Zone because the servers are different. In other words, in Taixu, Yang Tian and Lu Yan cannot meet, let alone talk about transactions. But Yang Tian and Lu Yan are both awakeners, and they can trade offline. Just like, Yang Tian originally subdued Tang Snake as a war pet offline, in reality, this is the same principle. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 384. After killing the Black Tiger, Yang Tian fled quickly to prevent the Empire City Lord from arriving and causing an unexpected change. Now we only need the Spring of Life to revive Dr. Addis. Yang Tian lit a cigarette and thought. It is said that the Spring of Life also has different qualities, 3-color, 6-color, 9-color and rosy light. For example, the Spring of Life of 3-color quality can only revive the Spirit King, and the Spring of Life of 6-color quality is required to revive the Fairy King, and so on. Dr. Addis was a Spirit King before his death, which means that to revive him, only the Spring of Life of 3-color quality is needed. Let's go there. The Miracle Lake. According to the memory of the previous life, Yang Tian knew that the whole lake of the Miracle Lake was the Spring of Life of 3-color quality. In fact, the Spring of Life required for resurrection only needs the amount of a test tube of medicine. The whole lake, to some extent, is simply a treasure. However, the Miracle Lake is guarded by a unicorn, the fairy beast Water Unicorn. Kylan is an ancient mythical beast, and there are also differences in blood strength. There are mythical beast Kylan and spiritual beast Kylan. Although the water Kylan is only a fairy beast, it is definitely not something Yang Tian can contend with now. However, he does not want to fight with the water Kylan, but just steal some life spring water. I think it is not a big problem. After a cigarette, Yang Tian took back carry and went to the Miracle Lake alone. System, you found the ancient desert and gained 100,000 experience points. After leaving the Xinwu Empire, Yang Tian himself came to a large desert. The air in the desert was very dry like a big furnace, which made Yang Tian's body and mind hot and needed to drink water constantly to move forward, otherwise his health would decrease. This ancient desert is a harsh environment like a sea of fire. There are many desert scorpions hidden in the sand, and many rotten birds hovering in the air. They are all lord beasts above level 150. Yang Tian summoned the army of undead, and moved forward while killing monsters. Soon, an oasis appeared in front of Yang Tian, where the grass and trees were lush and the spring water was cool and delicious, but Yang Tian knew that it was a mirage. If he rushed over rashly, there would be no oasis, and he might encounter sand traps or sandstorms. Mirages cycle and alternate, and the scene of each mirage is different. There is even a mirage of the Miracle Lake. In reality, mirage is a natural phenomenon formed by the refraction and total reflection of light, and the mirage scene actually exists, due to the refraction of light. The principle of the mirage in Taixu is the same, and the mirage must appear near the area. The mirage in the ancient desert is certainly a trap, but it also tells adventurers a message, that is, the oasis and the miracle lake really exist in the ancient desert. Of course, Yang Tian has experience in his previous life, and he has known this for a long time. And he didn't need the guidance of the mirage at all, he could find the miracle lake directly. System, you found the miracle lake and gained 500,000 experience points. System, since you are the first discoverer of the hidden map, you will get an additional skill point reward. After several hours of trekking, Yang Tian finally came to a dreamy lake, with jagged waves and magnificent beauty. Life spring water, tricolor/consumable after use, it will increase physical strength by 1000 points, strength, intelligence, spirit, and agility by 100 points at one time use again and it will be invalid. Note, the spring water full of life energy seems to have unknown effects. Yang Tian took a look and it was true that the whole lake was a tricolor quality life spring water. The previous heat had not yet dissipated. Yang Tian walked over and squatted to drink the spring water, gaining some permanent attribute blessings. Immediately, he took out many empty potion bottles that he had prepared long ago and started to take water. Although only one bottle is needed to revive Dr. Addis, it is better to have this thing in case of emergency. And after he resurrects Addis, he is very likely to revive other Spirit King heroes in the future, which also requires the Fountain of Life. In fact, the Fountain of Life itself is a treasure that increases attributes, so Yang Tian has to be greedy. Just as Yang Tian was forgetting to take water, a ripple suddenly appeared in the middle of the lake, and then a dragon head the size of a basketball emerged. It swam towards Yang Tian. Yang Tian found something strange, raised his eyes and glanced, and was startled at first, but then calmed down. This is not a water unicorn at all, but a water unicorn cub. The real water unicorn is definitely not so cute and young. Seeing Yang Tian discover himself, the little unicorn suddenly jumped out of the water and opened its mouth to bite Yang Tian. The little unicorn is about the size of a calf, royal blue, surrounded by 3 color gems, chubby and cute, and it seems that there is no killing power at all. Yang Tian smiled and held back the charging Kirin. The Kirin lost its momentum and fell into the water with a splash, screaming. Yang Tian looked closely. Water Kirin Cub, Spiritual Beast. Level 10. HP, 5 million. Basic Physical Attack, 50,000. Basic Magic Attack, 100,000. Skills, Charge, Bubble, Ice Bomb. Bloodline, Fairy Beast Bloodline. Spiritual Beast, Fairy Beast Bloodline. This little guy has a strong talent and has perfectly inherited his mother's bloodline. Yang Tian smacked his lips. Although bloodline is hereditary, it is not necessarily perfectly inherited. The son of a divine beast may not necessarily have the bloodline of a divine beast. What a pity, it's not an egg. Yang Tian shook his head in disappointment. The way to get a pet in Tegzu is usually to hatch pet eggs or use animal traps to catch pets. However, animal traps are not reliable, and the success rate of using them to catch spiritual beasts is probably less than 1 in a million. In other words, although Yang Tian likes this little Kylan beast, he cannot take it as a war pet. Cannot catch, nor kill. Killing a spiritual beast will definitely explode the bloodline, and this little thing also has the bloodline of a fairy beast, which is very rare, but it must not be killed. Once killed, the body will be stained with blood and will definitely be hunted down by the water Kylan endlessly. After all, the water Kylan is a fairy beast, and its IQ is not much worse than that of humans. It can never be compared with ordinary monsters. Can't catch, can't kill, it seems that I can only escape Yang Tian's side secretly. The little Kylan is here, and the water Kylan is estimated to come at any time. He has to leave. Although he is still a little jealous of the life spring water in the whole lake, there is nothing he can do. Whoa, the little Kylan didn't seem to intend to let Yang Tian go. He jumped out of the water again and hit Yang Tian. Yang Tian took the blow and brought it to the ground. He then flashed away and summoned a few man-eating plants to control it, and then hurriedly fled the miracle lake. Safe zone. Yang Tian took out the 1,000-year-old ice coffin and opened it, exposing Dr. Addis's body to the air. Yang Tian took out his soul ball, pinched the mouth of the body open with one hand, put the soul ball in with the other hand, and then filled a bottle of life spring water, then stepped back a few steps to watch the miracle that was about to happen. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 385. A gust of cold wind blew, and the sleeping corpse suddenly opened his eyes. Although he was resurrected, Addis had gathered all his memories before his death, and he soon accepted this fact. He crawled out of the crystal coffin, knelt on one knee, and expressed his loyalty to Yang Tian. Yang Tian looked carefully and found that Addis was a level 150 Spirit King. Of course, his real combat power was probably not as good as carry. After all, fighting was not his strong point. Originally, Yang Tian was only level 120, and normally he could not see through the attributes of a level 150. But observing the attributes of his own war servants was another matter. Get up, Addis, your task is to complete the soul exploration instrument as soon as possible, Yang Tian said calmly, and the aura of the superior naturally emanated. Addis stood up, bowed his head, and showed enough respect. Among Yang Tian's many war servants, Addis was definitely the most loyal. Xian Yuan, Long Alice, and Carrie, some of them regard Yang Tian as a friend, and some regard Yang Tian as a big brother, all of them have their own positions and wills. On the surface, they are servants, but in fact, Yang Tian has an equal relationship with them. Different from Addis, Yang Tian resurrected him and gave him a new life. For Yang Tian, he really regarded himself as a servant and a slave. Because of this, Yang Tian did not need to show too much friendliness to him, just be straightforward. Master, my lifelong wish is to complete the soul exploration instrument. I am ashamed that I have not made it yet, Addis said, because of some failed experiences. Although I am absolutely sure to make it, I actually can't estimate the time. The master may have to wait for a long time. Is that so? Yang Tian was slightly disappointed, but still said, it doesn't matter, you just do your best, I can wait for 1 or 2 years. Because Addis needs to develop instruments, Yang Tian cannot put it into a pet egg, and directly rents a house in the empire to settle it. Afterwards, Yang Tian returned to the Sea of Ruins again, and continued to explore and adventure, killing monsters and leveling up. Nowadays, because of the strong rise of the Water Alliance, the position of the first force in the national server is almost unshakable. As the first in the national server, the World War has not yet broken out, and Yang Tian and others are happy to be idle. A year passed quickly, and the next year, that is, June 2133, summer. It has been nearly 3 years since the launch of Takezu, which means that there are still more than 2 years before the end of the world. On this day, Yang Tian reached level 168. Since he passed the level 150, the weakest undead under his command are now lords, and the Black Knights, vampire counts, and the like are royal beasts. Yang Tian now summons a team of royal beast undead casually, and there is a kind of unstoppable domineering. As long as the city lord can be killed, it is probably easy to massacre the city. Because of the limitation of the bloodline of the spirit beast goblin, Yang Tian is still only a spirit king. It is worth mentioning that Xian Yuan Long Alice, Carrie Xiaojin, and the other 4 are now above level 160. Carrie Xiaojin, a spirit king and a royal beast. If Xiaojin wants to advance, he must wait for Dr. Addis to complete the soul exploration instrument and collect residual souls for feeding, and there is no upper limit. As for Xian Yuan Long and Alice, they are now fairy kings above level 160. Xian Yuan Long, who has the blood of the dragon, and Alice also has holy light. Both women are gifted. Yang Tian has to rely on them sometimes. You know, Zeus's god left hand has the blood of the goblin, and is now a fairy king of level 165. When they were both spirit kings, Yang Tian was absolutely sure to suppress them. Now, because of the difference in rank, although it cannot be said that he will lose, it cannot be said that he can suppress them. However, God's left hand did not dare to attack. Why? It was because of Xian Yuan Long and Alice. As immortal kings, NPC immortal kings have much more health than player immortal kings. Just for this reason, God's left hand dare not act rashly. On the same day, Dr. Ada sent a message: the soul exploration instrument has been developed. Hearing this news, Yang Tian was overjoyed. After a year, Adis finally did not disappoint. Master, the soul exploration instrument has 2 functions. First, it locks the soul of any hero with the nearest coordinates. Ada smiled proudly. Second, according to the information of the hero's soul, the coordinates of his other souls can be locked in turn. Well, the 2 functions can be combined, Ada said. For example, Master, we first use the first function to find a hero's soul at random. Through this, we use the second function, and soon we can collect all his souls and revive them for our use. Not bad, it is really a good thing, Yang Tian smiled and praised. The defective version of the soul exploration instrument could only lock the coordinates of Adis's own soul, and there was no other use. And now it is worthy of being a complete version. Its functions are many times better than the defective ones. Then Master, let's try it now without further delay. Adis smiled and wanted to use the first function. Wait a minute. Yang Tian interrupted him, took the soul exploration instrument from him, and entered the information of Amos's ring by himself. The red light flashed on the instrument screen, and the memory was successfully read. In other words, Yang Tian can lock all the dead souls of Spider Warrior Amos by using the second function of the instrument. It actually works. Yang Tian was stunned, surprised, and happy. Yes, the hero equipment is the soul equipment of each hero. Through this, the soul of the hero can also be locked, Ada said proudly with a touch of grey beard. In any case, the soul exploration instrument is a masterpiece of his life. Then Master, let's use the second function of the instrument to revive the hero named Amos first, Adis asked tentatively. No, Amos can't be resurrected anymore, Yang Tian said. Amos was originally an immortal king with a cultivation base very close to the Saint King. He has a total of 7 souls, namely 2 souls and 5 spirits. However, one of his hero spirits has been swallowed by Xiao Jin. I see, Adis nodded. He has been following Yang Tian for so long, so he naturally knows something about the skeleton king Xiao Jin. Xiao Jin can devour souls to evolve, and there is no upper limit, which is extremely strange. Since he can't be resurrected, we don't have to waste time looking for him, Adis said. No, we still have to find him. Even if he can't be resurrected, I want his hero equipment, which is a 6-color immortal weapon, Yang Tian said. The Amos's ring in his hand now is just a hero fragment, and the completion degree is only 1/7. However, this ring has very good special effects, and it has been integrated with the magic energy conversion ring. The effect can be said to be very powerful. It is Yang Tian's best equipment, no doubt about it. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, Ba Wang Shi-san. Chapter 386. Although the special effects are very good, Amos's ring is too low in both level and quality. Therefore, Yang Tian was forced to get the complete Amos's hero ring. By then, Yang Tian will have a qualitative leap in both attributes and combat power. Shinwu Empire, outside Shadow Village, Wolf Spider Territory. This is a level 30 map. In the Kaki ruins, there are calf-sized spiders crawling around. The wolf spiders are big, furry, and covered with tentacles, looking hideous and terrifying. Yang Tian Adis used the soul exploration instrument to lock Amos's ghost here. There are many players on the map who have formed their own teams and are struggling to brush wolf spiders. Tegzu has been in service for 3 years, and they are still brushing level 30 wolf spiders. They are obviously some newcomers who have just entered the game, or old birds who have deleted their accounts and started over. Yang Tian Adis came over and instantly caused a commotion in the crowd. It was not because of Yang Tian. Yang Tian hid his information. Unless you were at a higher level than him, you could not see his level, attributes, occupation, or even his ID. Looking at the Shinwu Empire, or even the entire Chinese theater, there were only 3 people with a higher level than Yang Tian. That's right, they were the 3 anonymous players whose levels suddenly soared when Water Alliance and Zeus fought a year ago. Until now, it has been so long, and I didn't expect those 3 guys to still hide in the dark and dare not show their faces. If it wasn't Yang Tian, then it must be the commotion caused by Adis. Although the players present could not see Adis's information, they could naturally see that Adis was not a player, but an NPC. An NPC followed a player to the wild map, which was really curious. Look, that kid has triggered a hidden mission, and he actually brought an NPC here. Yes, the old man has a steady step and a deep breath, and he is a strong man at first glance. Let's go and take a look, maybe we can get something good. The people around whispered, and soon reached a consensus, slowly surrounded, and followed Yang Tian and Adis. Yang Tian naturally found something strange very quickly, but he has been famous for several years and has long been accustomed to being surrounded by people's eyes. At this moment, he did not pay attention to those people, but continued to move forward according to the instructions of the soul exploration instrument. Very close, Yang Tian glanced at the instrument screen, stopped, and looked up. After a while, he found a cold-faced man sitting on the trunk of a dead tree in the distance. The man's figure was ethereal and illusory, not a living person, but a soul. It was a remnant soul of Amos. The surroundings were ruins, and there was only a dead tree in front. Yang Tian and Ada stopped and stared. Following their gaze, the surrounding players soon discovered Amos's residual soul. That's a hero boss, and it's not an ordinary boss. If you kill it, you can get hero fragments. Hero fragments. What are those? Very cool. Nonsense. Each hero fragment has unique characteristics and effects. If used perfectly, the combat power will be improved by more than a little. And collecting all the hero fragments and combining them into a real hero equipment is amazing, much more powerful than any king weapon or emperor weapon. Some players who deleted their accounts and started overside, and at the same time solved the confusion of a group of new players. At this time, almost all the surrounding players looked at Amos's soul with bloodthirsty greed. The surroundings suddenly became lively, and Amos, who was sitting on the tree trunk, seemed to be disturbed and actually got up and fled away. Chase. Killing a hero will explode hero fragments. Shouts were heard everywhere, and the group of players picked up their weapons and chased after the ethereal and illusory figure in the distance. Yang Tian and Ada smiled at each other and set out to chase. They had soul exploration equipment that could lock coordinates, so Amos couldn't escape no matter what. Yang Tian and Adis chased forward with a group of players for a few minutes and came to a dead forest. Looking around, all were dry old trees with complicated branches but no leaves, which looked extremely bleak. Amos was standing under an old tree, looking indifferently at Yang Tian and Adis and other invaders. Haha, it turns out that it's not about running away, but choosing a favorable battlefield. Adis smiled. Before the two came to the wolf spider territory, Yang Tian explained to Adis about Amos's characteristics. Amos is a spider warrior. He should have the blood of some powerful spider in his body and can freely manipulate spider silk. If it was in an open field, Amos would not be able to play his advantage, but in the woods, Amos could move freely with spider silk, just like a fish in water. Spider warrior, Amos's heroic soul, Emperor. Level 30. HP, 8 million. Skills, manipulate spider silk, slash, dash, chain slash, sword dance. Passive, earthquake. Background, Amos was a legendary figure in the Shinwu Empire in his early years. He died on the battlefield and was hailed as a hero. Kill. The roar sounded, and the group of players who followed Yang Tian and Adis over, after seeing the heroic ghost Amos, their eyes were red and full of greed. They had long forgotten the existence of Yang Tian and the others, and madly besieged Amos. They attacked the ground and dead trees, making loud explosions, raising dust and smoke, but unfortunately they couldn't touch Amos. Amos spun and reeled in the silk, leaping flexibly in the woods like an ape. He was seen dodging and attacking the intruders. He stretched out his hands, and they turned into a pair of steel claws, flashing a cold luster under the sunlight. Chop. Continuous slash. Sword dance. Amos was like a humanoid machine, slaughtering crazily in the crowd, and soon killed a large number of players. When he attacked, he couldn't dodge instantly, so those players could finally hit him. It's a pity that he was immune to physical attacks, and a small amount of magic attacks couldn't cause much damage to him. Too strong, he is worthy of being a hero. Nonsense, that's just one of the dead souls of the hero. If the real hero is a spirit king or an immortal king, we are no match for him. Stop talking, kill him, fight for the hero fragments. The surrounding players became more and more crazy, focusing on Amos regardless of the loss, and finally Amos's health dropped by 1/5. Master, you don't have to do anything, just leave it to me. The players were too slow, Yang Tian couldn't wait, and just when he was about to make a move, Adis interrupted him. Adis took out a laser gun and shot at Amos, who was being controlled by someone. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 387. Swish. A dazzling energy beam shot out from the muzzle, and in the blink of an eye, Amos' chest was pierced. 103-020-3900. As the huge damage value emerged, Amos fell to the ground and died, and a lot of items burst out. Tens of millions, it seems to be a billion damage. My God, how strong is that NPC old man? Adis shot Amos to death, and everyone present exclaimed in amazement. Immediately, their greedy eyes swept over the spoils at their feet, including level 30 silver equipment, gold equipment, and even king and emperor equipment. There was also a black ring with spider silk patterns on it. It was simple in shape and without light, and looked like a blank piece of garbage. But will the hero's soul explode white equipment? Impossible. That was obviously a hero fragment. Countless people's eyes were red and bloodshot, and some even drooled. It's a pity that they can't pick it up. In their eyes, all the loot dropped by Amos had a dazzling red light on them. That was property protection. There is property protection in Takezu. Only your teammates, master, and servant, and pet can pick up the things you drop, and outsiders cannot pick them up. Property protection lasts for 10 minutes, and the dropped items exist for a maximum of 30 minutes, after which they will be refreshed and confiscated by the system. Yang Tian and Adis walked over to clean up the loot, and the surrounding players surrounded them at the same time. To be precise, they ignored Yang Tian and surrounded Adis, nodding and bowing one by one, showing the most humble smile and saying, "Old sir, you are so strong, those equipment may not be in your eyes, why not give them to us?" Adis was silent. Yang Tian smiled faintly, walked over and picked up 3 items, Amos's hero spirit, Amos's ring, and natural furnace. He didn't even look at the rest of the items, including the level 30 king and emperor weapons. "I need these, the rest are for you." Yang Tian smiled at the people around him, quite friendly. Yang Tian is now well funded, and it is interesting to take care of the newcomers. More importantly, in 2 years, Takezu will be shut down and the end of the world will break out at the same time, so the development of newcomers is very important. Yang Tian helped a few people, and perhaps accidentally helped a few people survive the cruel doomsday in the future. Unfortunately, those people did not appreciate Yang Tian's good intentions. "Hey, property protection, why can that kid pick up things? It must be a hidden task." He teamed up with the NPC old man, so he can pick up. Many players speculated, but they didn't know that in their eyes, the super powerful Addis was just Yang Tian's servant. The servant's things, of course, the master can pick up. "Boy, you said it well, you have picked up the best hero fragments. Put it down quickly, that thing is not something you can touch. Put it down quickly, or I'll kill you. Let me tell you, my classmate's eldest brother is an elite of the Water Alliance." Several of the more powerful people among the crowd came out to threaten Yang Tian. Although the rest of the people didn't say anything, you can tell from their eyes that they won't be kind. "I don't want to bully a rookie, don't force me." Yang Tian frowned and his face darkened. He still dares to act cool. "Brothers, come on, kill him." Everyone roared and rushed forward, focusing their fire on Yang Tian, trying to kill him instantly. One. 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 The dense damage came out, and everyone present was stunned. "Hiss. This guy is not a rookie, he is at least a level 100 master." With a cry of surprise, everyone present felt their scalps tingling and cold sweat flowing. "Isn't it good to be alive? You have to die." Yang Tian chanted for a second, and with the sole of his foot as the center of the circle, he lit a dark sea of fire in a radius of hundreds of yards. The black flames burned fiercely, and in the blink of an eye, they burned all the people present to death. They fell to the ground limply, and their bodies were charred. A long time ago, the sea of fire, the dark sea of fire, was greatly weakened. But Yang Tian was a level 168 Spirit King after all. Killing a level 30 rookie was like a giant killing a baby. He could kill as much as he wanted. Because the opponent took the initiative and attacked maliciously, Yang Tian could only be regarded as a counterattack. Therefore, even though Yang Tian killed a large number of players in seconds, he did not have any sin value and was not red named. After the sea of fire was dispersed, Yang Tian sent Tang Snake to clean up the spoils, and he began to study. 2 souls merged, Amos's soul, completion 1/7. 2 hero fragments merged, Amos's ring, completion 2/7. Yang Tian glanced and found that the attributes of Amos's ring were enhanced a little, but no new special effects were produced. As for, the completion of Amos's soul is still 1/7. That's because Amos's first hero soul had already been swallowed by Xiao Jin. It was said to be 1/7 of the completion, but in fact it was impossible to complete it. Using the instrument to lock the coordinates of Amos's next soul, Yang Tian and Adis continued to act. Half a day later, Yang Tian collected Amos's fourth hero soul, only the last hero soul and 2 hero souls were missing. And the completion of Amos's ring has become 4/7, and the attribute has been enhanced by more than a little. The last hero soul, Yang Tian pressed the search button of the soul exploration instrument. After a moment, Yang Tian stared at the screen in a daze. Is it the world forest again? Fortunately, Yang Tian had already placed a teleportation array in the world forest, so he teleported there directly and searched with Adis according to the locked coordinates. Fox Demon Territory. In the jungle, a mage player was seen confronting a group of fox demons. It's right here, could it be? Yang Tian frowned secretly. At this time, the mage player moved, opened the buff, and the light on his body flashed. Heart of Rock. Wind Step. Heart of Rock is a rare buff skill of the elemental mage and earth system. Although it is rare, the effect is very useless. That is, immunity to a certain degree of charm. Not to mention, with the Heart of Rock, it is quite good to brush this fox demon. Seeing this, Yang Tian secretly praised and felt that this mage player had a lot of ideas. Charm. The fox demons flirted and tried their best to seduce the mage player. After being immune, the fox demons showed their ferocious appearance and stretched out their claws to attack the mage player. The mage player had a calm face and stretched out his left hand only after the fox demons were quite close to him. A spider silk shot out from the palm of his left hand, and the spider silk flew dozens of meters and stuck on the trunk of a big tree in front. At the same time, the mage player moved in the opposite direction, circled around, and pulled back. Soon he came behind the big tree and exerted force suddenly. The group of fox demons retreated frantically and were locked under the tree in a short while. They were tied up with spider silk and unable to move. So that's it, no wonder he, a mage, dared to go alone. Yang Tian nodded and admired the mage player. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 388. The mage is very fragile and has high output. He usually stands behind the tank to output. If the mage acts alone, it will be very dangerous. Especially when a set of skills is used. If all enemies are not eliminated, then it will be like a living target, at the mercy of others. The fox demons are level 150 lords, each of which is very strong. In order to avoid the skill from failing, the mage first used spider silk to bind and control them. This is undoubtedly a high IQ method. Yang Tian admired it very much, because even he had never thought of that method. Of course, Yang Tian is the master of the undead. When he kills monsters, he often summons the undead army to push and crush them. He doesn't need that method at all. Needs lead to ideas. Yang Tian doesn't have that need, so naturally he doesn't have that idea. Of course, in general, the mage player is still quite intelligent. After binding and controlling the group of fox demons, the mage player really started to use skills without thinking. After a round of bombardment, most of the group of fox demons were killed, and the few that were left were also at low health. Although spider silk is strong, it is not impossible to cut it. It is impossible to use spider silk to cause permanent control. The remaining fox demons quickly broke the spider silk and rushed towards the mage player with their fangs and claws. The mage player looked nervous. After throwing a set of skills just now, he had no skills in his hand and could only move to avoid the fox demon's attack. Fortunately, the CD of low-level skills is very short. He only saw that he would use the skills as soon as they were ready while moving. Using high-end techniques to control the group of fox demons, crazy concentration of fire was completed, and now it has become a boring guerrilla war. Yang Tian looked at it and shook his head. It was too difficult. The output of that guy was too touching. Although he was only level 168, the fox demons were simply killed by him. and the mage player was very struggling to face several low blood fox demons. It was a hard battle. Good positioning, IQ online, but unfortunately the output is too low. I guess the equipment is not very good, Yang Tian commented secretly. In fact, the mage player has good equipment. After all, the fox demon is a level 150 lord. He is just a mage, and he dares to come alone to brush it, and he has not died yet. He is already very strong. After a while, the mage player finally killed the last few fox demons with residual blood. A smile appeared on his handsome face. He wiped the sweat off his face and happily began to clean up the spoils. At this time, Yang Tian called out to Adis and walked up together. Brother Shui. After the mage player found out, he quickly stood up and greeted Yang Tian with respect. Different from the low-end players of level 30. This mage is at least level 150 in the world forest and his technical skills are good. He should be a mid to high-end player. If the equipment is better, he is definitely a high-end player. And Yang Tian is well known among the mid to high-end players. What's your name? You are quite strong, Yang Tian nodded and asked. Qin Yu. Do you know why I came? Yang Tian smiled. Qin Yu smiled bitterly and sighed, it should be for Amos's ring. Generally speaking, the coordinates of the heroes are very hidden, and they are often hidden on the map. But despite this, Yang Tian is not the only one who can find the hero. Obviously, Qin Yu is also a lucky man. He found and killed a ghost of Amos. That's why he has Amos's ring in his hand. Of course, Amos's heroic spirit is probably in his hands. Well, Amos's ring, you use it very well. But I need it more, I hope you can give it up, of course the price will satisfy you. Yang Tian smiled, he wanted to pay for it. Qin Yu looked embarrassed, and after a long time, he said, Brother Shui, you also saw it just now, Amos's ring is a very important prop for me. Without it, I don't know how much my real combat power will drop. Wait a minute. Yang Tian pondered for a few seconds, opened the auction house directly, searched for and bought a skill book. Gravity, rare skill of the mage, make the terrain within a certain range generate gravity and suction, guide and pull nearby targets. Duration is 3 seconds, cooldown time is 30 seconds. Mage's skills are mostly group attacks. Qin Yu's way of killing monsters is nothing more than gathering monsters together first, and then focusing fire to create a better output effect. Gravity can achieve the same effect, even better than Amos's ring. After all, Amos's ring needs a specific environment, such as a tree, and superb skills to gather monsters, while gravity can be released at will. Of course, gravity also has its disadvantages, that is, the cooldown time is quite long. This skill book is given to you, maybe it can replace Amos's ring. Yang Tian handed the gravity skill book to Qin Yu and smiled. Gravity. The market price is more than 100,000. Thank you, Brother Shui, Qin Yu was overjoyed. He immediately took off Amos's ring and traded it to Yang Tian along with Amos's hero spirit. I think you have a bright future. How about it? Are you interested in developing in the Water Alliance? Yang Tian said with a smile. No problem, Brother Shui. Qin Yu smiled and agreed decisively. As strong as he was, he had naturally been invited by some forces, but he refused because he was proud. But the Water Alliance was the first force in the country, and it was Yang Tian, the leader of the alliance, who personally invited him. This was very impressive, so of course he was willing. Yeah. Yang Tian nodded and pulled Qin Yu into the Water Alliance. Water Alliance system prompt, Alliance leader Han Shui invited Qin Yu to join the Water Alliance. Water Alliance, excellent member, Ghostblade, welcome. Water Alliance, excellent member, Stream, welcome, welcome. Water Alliance, Elder repent and repent, damn, the boss personally recruited people, Qin Yu is a big shot. Water Alliance, ordinary member, Quiet Night, elders appeared. Water Alliance, ordinary member, sunlight, elders appeared. Water Alliance, excellent member, 15,786, worship the elders. Water Alliance system prompt, Alliance leader Han Shui promoted Qin Yu from ordinary member to deacon. Water Alliance, elder repent and repent. Water Alliance, excellent member, Ghost Blade. Water Alliance, ordinary member, sunlight, thighs are so thick, I want to hug. In the Water Alliance, anyone with the title of excellent member is an elite. The counterpart of the deacon is the captain. Yang Tian can call out the names of every captain in the Water Alliance, but at least he knows their faces. Above them are the elders, with limited places, including Xiao Fei, Long Lu, Hao Tian, Lang Ling, Green Algae Head, Len Mao, Hong Yan Huo Shui, Ao Shi Fenchen, Ao Shi Ling Yun and others. Yang Tian is the leader, Huang Mao, Xian Ji, Jian Huang, and Zhuang Rou are the vice leaders. The Water Alliance is a merger of the four major guilds, the first force in the national server, and the captains are very impressive. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 389. Water Alliance, Deacon, Qin Yu's speech, I am a newbie and I am trembling with fear. I beg all the big guys to take care of me. Qin Yu was very excited to join the Water Alliance, and he quickly greeted everyone in the alliance. At the same time, he was itching to try out the power of his new skill Gravity. At this time, a group of fox demons just refreshed. Gravity. Qin Yu immediately used his skill, and saw a ripple of 5 yards in radius on the ground in front of him, like a mosquito coil. The group of fox demons was in the mosquito coil and was constantly sucked towards the center. They had difficulty moving and simply stopped moving, as if they were controlled. Cool, Qin Yu laughed and madly used his skills to hit the fox demons in the mosquito coil. In 3 seconds, Qin Yu brainlessly caused extremely high group output, killing more than half of the fox demons in seconds. 3 seconds later, the mosquito coil disappeared, and several fox demons with residual blood pounced on Qin Yu again, and everything was exactly the same as before. In the final analysis, Qin Yu's output was still a little low. Qin Yu could handle a few fox demons with low health, so Yang Tian did not help, but pondered on his own. Monsters are stupid, and gravity can cause a 3-second control effect on monsters. Players are very smart. Even if they are sucked in during PK, they will not stop moving. That is to say, for players, gravity can only cause a 3-second slowing effect at most. Yang Tian came to a conclusion and nodded. Gravity is still strong, and a 3-second slowing down at a critical moment is also extremely fatal. Killing the fox demon with low health, when Qin Yu was cleaning up the spoils, Yang Tian said, I have something to leave first, you can go to the Sea of Ruins, there are many people there. If you have something to do, find Xiao Fei, that is, to change your past, I will ask him to take care of you more. Qin Yu trembled, thinking to himself that Brother Shui actually took care of me so much, am I the legendary genius? Looking at Qin Yu with a silly smile on his face, drooling at the corners of his mouth, and looking unbearable, Yang Tian shook his head and left with Atis. Now, all of Amos's hero souls have been killed, and Amos's ring has been completed by 5/7. The last 2 hero souls are still missing, and that is the tough one. The dead soul is divided into soul and spirit, each with its own strengths and weaknesses, and intelligence. But generally speaking, the hero soul is much stronger than the hero spirit. Through the soul exploration instrument, Yang Tian and Atis found that one of Amos' hero souls was in the world forest. But it was not in the fox demon territory, but further ahead. Wolf demon territory. Yang Tian and Ada soon came to another forest, where the grass and trees were lush and full of blood. Unlike fox demons, wolf demons are bloodthirsty and aggressive, and the environment here is very suitable. Woo, the smell of humans. Yang Tian and Adis were stopped by a group of wolf demons as soon as they arrived. Most wolf demons are male, human-shaped, dark skin, bloodthirsty and ferocious red eyes, fangs, claws, and wolf tails. The wolf demons are all very strong, with naked upper bodies and only leather skirts tied around their lower bodies, which are the fur of fox demons. Wolf demons are stronger than fox demons. They make fox demon fur into skirts to wear, which is a symbol of strength. Wolf demon, Lord. Level 165. HP, 80 million. Basic physical attack, 850,000. Skills, claws, roar, bloodthirstiness. Passive, earthquake, sprint. It's been a long time since I ate people. Brothers, come together. Whoever grabs it will eat it. The wolf demon regarded Yang Tianades as prey and rushed over with a roar. Because of the blessing of the sprint passive, the speed of the wolf demons was very fast. In a flash, they rushed in front of Yang Tianades and waved their claws to attack wildly. Dang dang dang. Yang Tian made a loud noise under the concentrated fire of the wolf demon group, and his bone shield was slightly damaged, but his HP did not drop. Hades was also unharmed. Undead summoning. Yang Tian chanted for 1 second, summoning nearly 100 black knights, who charged forward collectively and crushed all the wolf demons to death in the blink of an eye. The ground cracked and smoke and dust billowed. The black knights were level 168 emperor beasts. On this basis, coupled with the absolute suppression of numbers, the wolf demons were really vulnerable. It's been more than a year since we last met, and the master has become stronger, Adis exclaimed. Although they were both spirit kings and their levels were not much different, Adis believed that he was far from being Yang Tian's opponent. Not bad. Yang Tian smiled, sent Tang Snake to clean up the spoils, and then continued to move forward. In the central area of the wolf demon territory, there is a huge cave, the Wolf King Cave. Outside the cave, there are 2 wolf demons guarding, one wearing a tiger skin skirt and the other wearing an elephant skin skirt, very strong and mighty. The wolf demons are very murderous and like to take the fur of their prey and make it into leather skirts to wear on their bodies to show their strength. These 2 wolf demons are not ordinary wolf demons. They have killed tiger demons and elephant demons and are very powerful. The light in the cave is bright and everything can be seen at a glance. I saw a wolf-headed demon sitting in the first seat. He was full of murderous aura and wore the furs of various monsters, which made him look very powerful. On the table in front of him, there was a blanket made of tiger skin, and on the blanket was fragrant fruit wine. He opened his wolf mouth to drink, and suddenly, a fishy and foul smell came out and swept the whole cave in an instant. It can be seen that he killed many monsters and ate many monsters. Under the first seat, there are 2 rows of seats, most of which are wolf demons. The first seat on the left is not occupied by a wolf demon, but an illusory figure. His face is cold and majestic without anger. He is the heroic soul of Amos. There are also many fruit wines in front of his table, but he is just a residual soul and cannot drink. After eating and drinking for a while, the wolf demon king suddenly said, "Mr. Amos, thank you for helping me. In this way, I can kill all the tiger demons, replace them, and unify the world forest. General monsters cannot and will not leave their own territory. But the world forest is full of monsters. They are highly intelligent and like to fight with alien races and seize territory. There are many monsters in the world forest, among which the tiger demon is the most, followed by the elephant demon. But the wolf demon is the most murderous. If the wolf demon king really kills the tiger demon king and seizes the tiger demon's territory, then the wolf demons will be blessed by the territory and their level will rise to level 200. Just for fun, Amos said calmly, this immortal is now just a remnant soul, without desire or demand. Your killing is very much to my taste. The Wolf Demon King's eyes twitched. Just a remnant soul has the strength of a spirit king. He had to admit that Amos was indeed an immortal king when he was alive. I was so great when I was alive, but now my strength has seriously declined. Fortunately, my soul is immune to physical attacks. Even if I can't defeat him, I can still kill the Tiger Demon King, Amos said. Then let's go without delay, Mr. Amos, the Wolf Demon King roared, gathered his subordinates, and marched towards the Tiger Demon territory. On the other side, Yang Tian, who had been observing the instrument screen, was stunned. Amos's heroic soul is actually moving, and the direction seems to be the Tiger Demon territory. That's nothing, with your strength, whether it's a Tiger Demon or a Wolf Demon, it's nothing. Ada smiled. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 390. That being said, we don't need to waste time, just go around and intercept him. After saying that, Yang Tian's Adis took off directly and flew towards the coordinates of Amos at the fastest speed. About 10 minutes later, in a certain jungle, Wolf Demon King Amos led a group of wolf demons to the Tiger Demon territory, but at this time, two figures fell from the sky and blocked their way. So that's it, Amos and the Wolf Demon King joined forces to invade the Tiger Demon territory, Yang Tian suddenly realized. At this moment, his opponent was not only Amos, but also a spirit beast Wolf Demon King. You are so brave, a mere human dares to come to the world forest and dares to block my way, the Wolf Demon King snorted coldly, his voice like thunder. As he spoke, his mouth was full of stench, combined with the strong smell of blood on the wolf demon, it was simply creepy. Yang Tian was too lazy to talk nonsense, and directly summoned the army of Black Knights, howling and charging over. Boom boom boom. With a tremor of the earth, except for the Wolf Demon King and Amos, all the wolf demons fell to the ground and died, and a large amount of spoils of war exploded. Dark Fire Domain. Yang Tian casually swung his hand, and endless black flames swung out from his feet, attacking in all directions. Not only that, the black flames also have a height, and the sky and the ground are all covered by black flames within a radius of hundreds of yards. Above the Spirit King, the Sea of Fire becomes a fire domain, with a very large range, and can target high-altitude targets. Of course, the burn damage of the Dark Fire Domain is not high, especially for the Spirit King beast, it is like tickling. But the Dark Fire Domain will weaken the Dark Resistance. On the basis of the Dark Fire Domain, Yang Tian once again played the Dark Coming, further reducing the Dark Resistance of the Wolf Demon King Amos, which in turn increases the burst of the Black Knight army. Nearly 100 Black Knights, focusing their fire on the Wolf Demon King, causing the latter to lose blood. The Wolf Demon King is very strong, but the Black Knights are not weak either. The Black Knight itself is a level 168 royal beast, with Yang Tian's dark power, armor break, and the dual resistance reduction of dark fire and darkness, so they have extremely high burst. Under the suppression of numbers, the Wolf Demon King lost 1/10 of his blood in just a few seconds. You should know that the Wolf Demon King's blood volume is at least 10 billion. On the other hand, the Wolf Demon King focused fire on a Black Knight in a few seconds and killed him. However, the loss of a Black Knight is not a big deal for the Black Knight army. Who is strong and who is weak is immediately clear. Looking at the Wolf Demon King, who was beaten up by the Black Knight army and looked embarrassed, Yang Tian smiled slightly, quite emotional. Before level 150, the Black Knight was just a royal beast, and the Black Knight army would never have the current combat power. Sure enough, the profession of the undead mage is really outrageously powerful. The later the stage, the stronger it is. In the endless fire domain, Yang Tianada stood in the center, surrounded by the corpses of wolf demons and various trophies. In front of him was the Wolf Demon King, who was being besieged by the Black Knights. Only Amos, with his hands clasped, stood proudly in the air, his figure illusory and ethereal. He lost blood from his head every second, which was the burn of the dark fire domain, tens of thousands per second, but it was no big deal for Amos. Yang Tian did not send the Black Knights or other undead to attack him because he was immune to physical attacks. The siege of the Black Knights continued, and after a while, the Wolf Demon King's blood volume was less than 1/3. At this time, he had killed less than 10 Black Knights. At this pace, he would inevitably end up in regret. Gradually, the Wolf Demon King panicked and shouted to the sky, "Mr. Amos, please help me. The other party is a necromancer. You can save me if you kill him." Amos did not move after hearing this. After a while, he said lightly, "To me, Wolf Demon King, you are not worthy of being my partner. I don't care about your life or death. It's just, I am really murderous and aggressive, that's all, let me help you." Hearing this, the Wolf Demon King finally breathed a sigh of relief. Swish. In an instant, Amos flashed out in the air, stretched out his hands and produced two steel-like claws, and slammed towards Yang Tian. Yang Tian did not give in, and snapped his fingers casually, using the summoning skill that he had prepared long ago. Duin. 3 yards in front of Yang Tian, a three-color teleportation array appeared, and then a skeleton wizard emerged. It was wearing a tall hat and black robe, covering most of its body, revealing only a hideous skull face and a pair of bone claws. On top of the bone claws, all 10 fingers were wearing rings, either gold, silver or crystal gems, full of the aura of the rich. It held a bone staff in its right hand, and a huge crystal was inlaid on the top of the staff, and the crystal flashed with 3-color gems. Obviously, this skeleton mage was at the level of the Spirit King. Among the many undead under Yang Tian's command, the skeleton mage was best at magic attacks. At the current level of the Spirit King, he could only summon one spirit-level undead, so the skeleton mage was naturally the first choice. Explosive fire technique. Bang. The Spirit King skeleton mage actually instantly used the explosive fire technique. The 3-color crystal on its bone staff shot out a huge fireball with a diameter of more than 10 meters. Before Amos pounced, it hit his chest first, causing him to groan and lose blood and fly back. Corrosive black hole. Then, the Spirit King skeleton mage used another skill instantly, creating a black hole that flew towards Amos, who was retreating in mid-air. When the two came into contact, Amos instantly trembled like a convulsion, blood was flying wildly above his head, but he could not get rid of the black hole and move a single step. Corrosive black hole, after hitting the target, it causes multiple high damages. In addition, the black hole generates suction, which absorbs the target for up to 3 seconds. The suction of the black hole is similar to control, and while sucking, the black hole itself will also cause multiple high damages. A very terrifying skill. Summoning the undead. When Amos was sucked in the air by the black hole, Yang Tian took the opportunity to summon 2 teams of undead. One team was a few thousand skeleton mages, each of whom was a 168 lord, and blessed with Yang Tian's attributes. The other team was a nearly 100 level 3-headed dog in the region, each of whom was a 168 level royal beast, blessed with Yang Tian's attributes. In the endless fire area, a large number of undead emerged, full of gloomy and terrifying atmosphere, like hell on earth. Focus on them, Yang Tian gave an order. The Spirit King skeleton mages, the skeleton mages army, and the 3-headed dog legion of the region, concentrated their fire and attacked fiercely. The skeleton mages played various magic skills, and the 3-headed dogs of the region swallowed and spit out flames and continued to burn. Amos was seen to be bombarded with blood flying wildly on his head, and each damage was very high. This, what a terrifying necromancer, the Wolf Demon King, who was still besieged by the Black Knights, said in horror with cold sweat on his face. Necromancers are strong to begin with. Even if they are not spirit kings, as long as they reach level 150, they can summon a lord level undead army, or even king beasts and emperor beasts. Spirit king necromancers can even summon a spirit level undead, which is even more terrifying.